My heart never moved on even when life insisted that it should, even when distance grew like mountains between us, even when silence became the only language we shared. Forget. I tried to bury memories, erase your name from my thoughts, and convince myself that destiny had no plans, connecting yours with mine. But some souls are not just memories, they are echoes. They stay, they linger, they live inside us, even when they no longer walk beside us. I walked forward, yes, but I never truly left. My body moved with time, but my heart stayed where it last felt alive. With you, I laughed, I lived, I survived, but nothing ever felt complete. No smile reached the depth of my soul. No touch felt written. No voice carried the softness that your silence did. People said, time heals everything, but time only taught me one truth. Some love is not meant to fade. Some love is meant to remain. You were not a chapter. You were the entire book. I never finished reading. The unfinished poem. My heart still writes in the dark. And even now, after seasons have changed, after the world moved forward, after everything should have ended, I still feel you in places I never speak about. Late at night, when the world sleeps and only honesty remains awake, I whisper to the universe, if I was never meant to love them, then why does my heart still choose theme every single time? You see, moving on isn't forgetting. Moving on isn't replacing. Moving on isn't pretending. Moving on is accepting that the heart remembers long after the world forgets. So yes, I moved forward, but I never moved on. Because love like this doesn't disappear. It doesn't weaken. It doesn't fade. It waits, quietly, faithfully, unshaken. Maybe one day, our paths will cross again, not as strangers, not as memories, but as two souls that finally caught up with what destiny wrote long ago. And if that day comes, I will look at you the way the heart remembers, soft, steady, certain, and whisper, I still carry you, like an unfinished prayer, soft on the tongue, heavy on the heart, and, forever, sacred in the places I do not speak about, because love like ours was never loud. It was silence, and yet it spoke louder than every promise the world ever made me. I don't know where you are tonight, or who. I am waiting not because I am weak, because I cannot move forward, but because my soul knows a thing my mind cannot explain. Waiting. The version of you that finally breathes, without pain, the version that no longer hides heartbreak, behind forced smiles and quiet tears. I'm waiting for the you, who finally understands that love is not meant to break, but to build, not meant to drown, but to save. You don't know me yet, and maybe right now, you think love has betrayed you. Maybe you whisper to the night, but love sometimes hurts before it heals. It sometimes shatters before it fits. It sometimes leaves before it returns in the form it was meant to be. So I am here in silence, in patience, in faith. I don't search for you in crowds, or faces, or temporary hearts. I search for you in signs moonlight, memories that are not mine, and the strange ache of knowing someone I have never met. People laugh when I speak of destiny. They say love is a choice, not fate. But how do I explain that my heart keeps choosing someone it has never touched? How do I explain that every time I think of the future, there is a shadow beside mine that looks like you, so I stay, not stuck but anchored, anchored to the belief that somewhere your wounds are learning to close, your heart is learning to trust again, and your soul is learning that not everyone comes to break you. And when you are ready, not perfect, not unscarred, but honest, I will welcome you not as a stranger, but as something my heart already knew. And when you ask, why didn't you move on, I will smile softly and answer. She walks through her days, carrying a pain. She hides behind her eyelashes, behind forced strength, behind the silence that only God truly understands. People see her strength, but they don't see the nights she cries quietly into her pillow, the tears she wipes before they fall, the prayers she whispers with a trembling heart. She thinks she is alone. She thinks no one sees her struggle. But I do, not with my eyes, but with my soul, because somewhere deep within me, her sadness echoes like a familiar memory of a future I have not lived yet. I don't know her name, I haven't heard her voice, but my heart recognizes her pain like it has lived there before. So every night, before sleep takes over my thoughts, I whisper a quiet prayer. God, heal her. Soften what life has hardened. Replace her fears with peace. Bring light back into the eyes that learn to hide their own spark. Because when love is real, it begins long before two souls meet. It begins with care, with patience, with prayers she will never hear, and tears she will never know I shed. She thinks destiny forgot her, but destiny is simply preparing. She thinks love gave up on her, but love is learning her name in the language of eternity. And one day, when we finally meet, when her heart is ready and mine is steady, I will tell her, I was loving you even before I knew who you were. I was praying for you. Long before you were mine, I was waiting for you, while life taught you how to be strong enough to receive a love that would never leave. And she will understand that every tear, every heartbreak, every lonely night was never punishment, but preparation, because some love stories are written slowly with patience, destiny, and faith, not in days or months, but in the quiet unfolding of time. And when she finally chooses love again, she won't just choose me. She will choose peace, safety, and a home she never thought existed. One day, when time has softened her pain, and destiny finally completes what silence has protected, she will look into my eyes and understand everything without a single word spoken. She will understand that every unanswered prayer was leading her toward me, that every heartbreak was clearing a path, that every tear she cried was watering the soil where future love would grow. Right now, she believes she was abandoned. Right now, she thinks love was something the world gave to others and denied her. But love is not late. It is patient. It waits for the right moment, for the right version of both souls, for wounds to fade and hearts to be ready, for a love that does not collapse under fear. I don't want her half healed, half trusting, half opened. I don't want to love a heart still bleeding from someone else. I want her whole, not perfect, not fearless, but willing. So I wait, not hopelessly, but faithfully, not because I cannot live without her, but because I do not want my life to be lived with anyone else. My loyalty is not a burden, it is an instinct. Something deep within me knows. She is not a chapter, she is the book fate sealed with purpose. And when the day comes, when her eyes finally soften, when her heart finally recognizes the soul it has been missing, when silence finally becomes surrender, I will not ask for explanations. I will not ask where she has been, or why life took its time. I will simply hold her hands, like something ancient and familiar, and whisper,